in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to make some base pages with lots of heart embellishments. I'm Emilee, and you've found Emilee's Paper Caper, where we're all about scrapping our stash and getting pages done. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and bell icon now. So I've been into my scrap bin and I've pulled all kinds of pretty pink and red papers. I've got my heart punches off my punch wall, and let's just have some fun creating base pages. If you're not familiar with base pages, these are pages you do ahead of time without photos, and later when you have photos you want to scrapbook, you can use your base pages to get your pages done a little bit faster. This is a great way to use your stash, things you already have on hand. Like me, these red papers are all from my scrap bin. I sketched some ideas, and I also pulled some doilies and some paints and even a DIY stencil. You can really stretch your scraps with punches. You can see that I've punched 2 sizes of hearts from this larger paper, and now I can go in and get the small hearts punched with the remaining. If I was really careful or had some really special paper, I could be even more particular and get even more punches, but I just want to show you an example of how far you can really stretch those paper scraps. Now I have lots of hearts in different colors and shapes ready to go to make these base pages. Some of my ideas for base pages call for some circles, so I'll put my circle punches to work now. The first layout I want to do is this one. I envision a watercolor rainbow across 2 sheets. I've got the Vicki Boutin Foundations white paper, and I want the rainbow to kind of look like it's coming out of the clouds. So I'm going to use my DIY stencil. I created this from a toilet paper tube, and I will link up in the card and down in the description to the video if you want to make one of these yourself. I am not a fussy artist. I just like to create colorful backgrounds for my pages. So I'm not especially concerned about this being a perfect rainbow by any means. Just want to get the colors down, and then I have an idea for after it dries. I want to add some hearts to these, some hearts to the rainbow. These are just watercolors that my girls had when they were in grade school 15-20 years ago. Not using anything special here by any means. I like the way a little watercolor on the background and the flowing paint looks on a page. I'm thinking I can use this spring. I can use some springtime photos on these pages. Because they're base pages and I don't have photos that I'm thinking about, I want to keep lots of options open for placement of photos. We'll let these dry and I'll work on some other pages. We'll come back to this. For these pages, I've got some thinner scrapbook paper. I cut it to 11 by 11 so that I would have a nice 1/2 inch border. And I will mount it on some heavier cardstock. These will create very versatile backgrounds, and I plan to add some of the hearts that I punched out. I like this one, room for a couple of different photos, and these are some pre-made 4.5 by 6.5 photo mats that I've punched from the center so I can still use those photo mats. I cut some papers from my scrap bin to 4.25 by 6.25, so now they will fit perfectly. And this base page will be ready to go with double mats for a 4 by 6 photo. Another idea I had for a base page was to put hearts at the diagonal, so let's do that next. So for this base page, there'll be room for either vertical or horizontal photos in the corners. Lots of options. The next idea I want to do is this one, where I have hearts in the corners. And I didn't find a large doily for the center, but I did find some medium doilies, and I think those will look very nice for a very pretty page. My next idea is a grid of circles. Let's see what we have here in the way of circles and what we can make work. I do have a couple of doilies. I think I'll throw those in with the circles, and this will be a very pretty background. This one calls for hearts at the top and the bottom of the page as borders. I don't usually worry about things being exactly straight, but I've got this T-square out just the same to help me with the placement. It's time to do the finishing touches on the rainbow pages. I'm using this glue pen that my friend Renee sent me. It works great for small items like these tiny hearts. You can sketch your ideas on a piece of scratch paper and then create your base pages with what you have on hand. Here's how the rainbow background turned out. Borders at the top and bottom. Here's the grid. Hearts on the diagonal. A couple of double matted photo mats, and the doilies. I'll link to some more videos about base pages, and we can keep on scrapping our stash together.